Hello, I do see I have another participant. If you could please chat in so that I know that you're here, and then I can go ahead and get started. Hi, Crystal. How are you? Good to hear, Crystal. Sorry, I'm flipping in between screens. I'm doing pretty good. Hello. If you guys are just joining in, be sure to chat in. I'm not able to see you guys come in. I can just see how many participants I have. So if you've got a question, please be sure to chat in. If you've got questions in regards to the paper, again, be sure to chat in. This is specifically time for you guys to ask any questions that you have in regards to the rubric that I've posted and in regards to the last paper. So feel free. I'm here. I'm currently reading, researching myself. So if you've got questions, be sure to chat in and we can go from there. I'll kind of do a summary, kind of a recap of the chat in another video to post for you guys. And then I'll probably get that posted sometime tomorrow. So just be sure to chat in your questions because again, I can't communicate directly with you guys just through the chat. So chat in whatever questions you've got in regards to your final paper, any questions about discussion boards, any questions in regards to what I'm looking for in the paper, just be sure to chat those in. Okay, so if you're in the group me chat, just chat in your questions and then I can answer them from there. So if you go to the announcements and get onto the group me app, you can chat in that way. I see some people are having issues with the chat feature. So if that's the case, just chat in your questions into the group me. Also, just a okay, Crystal, I see your question. Just as a reminder, if you've got questions about your grades or anything like that, be sure to email me directly. I will not discuss those on a public forum. So just be sure to do that. Now, Crystal, let's see. Oh, why you page? Yes, that is correct, Crystal. So you do need to look at a specific intervention for your population that you've selected. So if you're wanting to look at CBT, be sure that that's what you're going to utilize with that particular population. If you're going to do combat veterans. And also, like I said, I did note kind of throughout on everybody's, either your paper or your wifey pages, anything like that. A lot of you guys are APA and citation is a big, huge thing that I kept kind of repeating. So be sure if you don't have it already. I have this. This sits next to me. You see, I pulled it from over here. So anytime that I'm reading anything, anytime I'm reading papers, anytime I'm reading wiki pages, anytime I'm reading annotated bibs, this is what I live by. Yes, Antoinette, each page that you guys turn in, you will get feedback because the wiki page per your syllabus, that's the one that is a continuation. So that's why I split it up rather than have you guys turn in one wiki page and then me give all the comments back. That's why I'm doing it page by page to give you guys feedback so that once you get the feedback back, you're able to go back in there, revise it, and then go to the next page. So that's the reason why I set it up that there's one due every week because the wiki page is one that's a continuation. That is correct. So as long as you fix it by the next time I go back, then yeah, you're on the right track. So each time I look, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to make sure that those corrections have been made from the previous page, and then I move to the next page, and then so it's just a continuation. Okay, so Crystal, in regards to your history piece, for that one, let's see, it's more on history of trauma. That is correct. So whatever intervention that you're looking at. So if you're going to do CBT, I need more of a background and a history on CBT. Now, what you do have on trauma can be utilized elsewhere. And I believe that may have been, I think that's kind of what my comments may have aligned about, possibly. Not saying to scrap what you have, but just kind of have like a going Word document. Like I have a Word document that I have like scrap pieces. So things that I've taken out of a particular document or something, I just kind of put it on my scrap pages. So definitely for history, take your intervention. Give me a history of the intervention. Who coined it? When did it originate? What were the basis of it? And then especially on a history of a particular intervention, I'm looking at what are those components of the intervention or this approach, because that gives me more of a history of this intervention. And then you can move into, the reasons why we're looking at this is because of X, Y, and Z. And then kind of utilize those other pieces elsewhere. And let me know if that answers your question. Antoinette, as far as the topic paper or the treatment paper, I am making a module, or not a module, but a setup in Blackboard. So basically, I'm going to be putting it under the assignments tab to where you'll go in and you'll submit your topic. So that'll be up on Blackboard. I can probably do this as I'm waiting for people to come in. So I will make that. It's a couple of different options that I have that I can do. I'm not sure if I want to do a sign up page or not, but that will be posted on Blackboard and I'll make an announcement on that. Okay, so Nina, you said your interventions for your YK is mostly about crib safety, environment best practices. So with those in particular, so if you're doing crib safety, I would look at where those are fine. Be sure that with those interventions that you're able to put them back on to how and where they originated from. So be sure that your research is including, why is it good to place children on their backs rather than on their stomachs and things like that. Because with SIDS, because we don't know that, we don't know the cause of SIDS. So just be sure to give some history and background on that. Antoinette, what do you mean an example on what you can do your treatment paper on? Okay, so your treatment paper is completely up to your discretion. So you can either do it on what you did your annotated bib on, if there's another particular population that you're looking at or want to research or want to look into based off of your field placement thing. It's really completely up to your discretion. Like I say, this whole class has been, I give you guys free reign on what you want to do. It's an elective class. It's something that you guys have interest in. So I really want y'all to use your critical thinking skills and look into something that you feel needs more research. So that's completely up to you. Okay. So, Lindsay, yes, on your particular one, just like I was saying, don't necessarily scrap everything, but I need more of a history of the intervention that you're utilizing. Yes, Antoinette, it does need to be specific because per this treatment paper, you're utilizing a population and an intervention. So it needs to be narrowed and specific. Also, be very, very sure, guys, because this paper is basically kind of due at finals. Um, Look at your rubric now. I can't stress that any harder, because a lot of the assignments, you guys have had a lot of questions that have been answered within the rubric and or the syllabus. So be sure to exhaust all your resources. Um, but look into the rubric. The rubric gives you details on what sections need to talk about. Okay. I have put heavy emphasis on APA citations and your formatting because that's been kind of the struggle bus for everybody, as well as your writing, the structure of the organization. Be sure that you are proofreading, because a lot of things that I've been reading, they have not been proofread. So if you're going to wait till the last minute to do stuff, that's fine. I can't control that, but be sure that you proofread it and be sure that when you're turning something in, that that's your final and best document because you guys are grad students and I hold you guys up to a very high caliber. So that's why I'm a stickler for writing because we're all you guys want to come into the social work profession and this profession is all about writing. So I don't the way that I grade is not to be mean or picky, but it's because you guys are about to enter into a profession where your writing can be subpoenaed in court. That's the way that I think whenever I'm writing a document or submitting a paper or anything like that. I think, okay, this may and or may not be subpoenaed, or I just keep that in the back of my head because working in child welfare, that was the way that I had to write my notes. And that was the way that I had to see things. So again, I want your best work. You know, just think about it. If I were to have to turn in you guys' writing documents to the director of the program, would they be satisfied with it? Okay. So be sure to think about that when you're typing and writing. And that's why I put more emphasis on that writing in the APA, in the grading rubric. So please, please, please be sure that you're reading the rubric and that you're really utilizing that rubric to your advantage. Because when I grade you guys' documents and I grade things, it's paper, rubric. Did you meet that criteria? So that's really kind of how I grade. So if you missed something or you got counted off on something, it's because it wasn't falling within the rubric, okay? So okay. So need a little bit more elaboration on kinds of implications. Are you talking about what like policy better? Just kind of elaborate on that for me. 15's not really a lot, quite frankly, because you're being able to use references from whatever. It's not specific to peer-reviewed journals. So you can use CDC, you can use magazine articles, you can use one textbook, you can use statistics. So 15, if you really think about it and the topic area and the things that this paper is asking of you, 15 is really not a lot. No worries. I mean, you guys just have to ask questions. That's why my telephone number is out there. That's why you guys have my email. Like, I try my best to make myself expendable to you guys, but if y'all don't, I mean, you know, you gotta utilize it to your benefit. So, but no problem. Yeah, no, per the syllabus, only one textbook. So you can either use your current textbook or the other textbook. So you kind of got to figure out which one you want to use for that specific purpose, Antoinette. Okay, so Lindsay, what's the specific intervention? So counselors at the school, what type of approaches are they utilizing? That's my question. So, I mean, that's cool, but what types of techniques are they using with these children? Are they doing play therapy? Are they like what specifically are they doing? Because again, think about when you're looking into your research, what's the type of intervention are they utilizing with these children? Are they utilizing TBRI, which is trust-based relational interventions? So again, elaborate more on that. Like, that's great that schools are utilizing counselors to assist children with divorce, but think further. You have to dig deeper. So pull those layers back. Schools are saying, okay, we have children who are struggling with their parents divorcing. Okay, we need to intervene because it's affecting their schoolwork. All right, cool. So now we're going to put, you know, what kind of counselors are these? Are these LMFTs? Are these licensed social workers? Are they licensed clinical social workers? Are these LPCs? So what's the specialization of these counselors? Then what are they doing with the children? So again, think about it that way. So again, guys, be sure that you're not, a lot of you guys are kind of like on the surface level thinking. I need you guys to dig a little bit deeper. So again, critical thinking is key. Just when you're reading research, and that's the thing, when you go to these peer-reviewed documents in regards to your topic area, when you're reading these studies, look at what the study is utilizing. Okay, so when they say, oh, we had 50 participants who were involved in, you know, maybe domestic violence, and we utilized XYZ intervention. Okay, cool. Tell me about this XYZ intervention that's being utilized. All right. So again, when you're reading, you're not reading just to get the information and throw it somewhere, because then when I'm reading it, I'm like, oh, okay, that's a cool intervention. Tell me more. So that's what that history part is about. So tell me more about why. And now, Nina, I think, okay, okay. But yeah, no, like I say, y'all, 15 references is not a lot. So Antoinette, no, the Wiki has a completely separate rubric. So be sure to review the Wiki rubric because both assignments are completely different and they're going to be scored differently. So as far as the textbook, that's only one for the treatment paper. Whatever you utilize for the Wiki is completely different. That could be one, Nina. So it could be policy implementation, it could be trainings. Again, what do we as social workers need to do to assist in this? So, do we need more social work research? Do we need more focus groups? So again, think along those lines because those implications for social workers can be very broad. So kind of pick a couple of those things and kind of run with it. So you as a social worker, if you're working with a family who experiences, what are some of the things that you think social workers need to do for families? Lindsay, that's correct. So if you utilize a journal article and they're talking about a particular type of intervention that's utilized, I'm going to look for you guys to be to give me more insight on what this intervention is, how it or how the quote unquote inventors came up with this particular intervention. So basically, if you find a journal article and you're really interested in a particular intervention that they use, then now I'm going to expect you to go and find that intervention and give me a history of it. What led to this particular type of intervention to be really kind of coined or created, and how it's been shown to be interventive. Sorry, we've got it's a helicopter outside my window. But yeah, so that's what I'm looking for. And if that's what you guys are looking into, then I need more history on that particular intervention. No worries, Nina. I'm glad you guys enjoyed this. Hi, Donna. That's correct, but double check the Wiki rubric. Okay, so be sure that you're looking at both of them. But yes, the treatment paper can only have one textbook reference. That's correct, Lindsay. On the Wiki, you can use whatever. Be sure that you're citing it in APA form. No, Donna. This has been changed. So in my announcement that I sent out, I modified the rubric. So what I need you guys to do is that the paper is one topic for one intervention for whatever population. Right. The treatment paper can use whatever resources, but again, it has to be cited correctly. Like, so remember on that rubric, you guys see that it's 20 points for your writing organization and flow, and then you've got 20 points for your APA formatting. So if you're going to utilize those resources, be sure that they're cited correctly. Again, like I say, if you have not used it or if you don't have it already, and especially if you're just starting out in the MSW program, this is your best friend. So be sure that you're citing appropriately. That is correct, Lindsay. So for the wiki and your treatment paper, you can use whatever sources or references that you want. Now, again, when it comes to the part where you're talking about the intervention and model, that's where your peer-reviewed articles are going to come into play. So just because you can use whatever references doesn't mean that, oh, I'm just going to pull everything from a web page. I just need to be sure that you guys are utilizing web pages in addition to peer-reviewed journals. But yes, as long as it's cited correctly, that is fine. Be sure that it's within the realms of what that rubric is. But again, be sure, again, I can't stress it enough. You guys have to proofread. You have to proofread. You must proofread. So I would say anytime you finish a section, proofread it. Be sure that you're citing appropriately, that it flows, and that it has, um, you know, everything that needs to be in that particular section. Okay, guys. So, hadn't seen a lot of activity. So what I'm gonna do is, I got about 45 more minutes before I log off. I'm gonna go ahead and log off. If you have any other burning questions or need anything answered, feel free to email me, text into the group me, call me, whatever you may need to do. But I'm gonna go ahead and end the session. I'm gonna send out a notification to the whole class and let them know that I'm ending a little bit early. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out and talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.